And so it is. Groenewegen takes it ahead of Jasper Philipsen. Biniam Girmay still brilliant and up there in the mix in third place on the day ahead of Gaviria, Bauhaus, De Lee, Van Aert, Demar, Christophe and Ackermann.
A sixth Tour de France stage win for the Dutch champion Dylan Groenewegen, and with that nose piece, the eagle has landed. Robbie, that was spectacular, wasn't it?
Maybe the nose piece, the only thing taking away from the victory.
He's not going to want to frame that celebration picture, is he?
It may be a good thing they both had their heads down, full throw for the line, so it's not going to be in the finish photo. But we watched them come in. I mean, there were a few moments that were really critical points coming in. The turn at 1.9 where Uno X were in control, again at 1.6, Signal Lane Road, then through that roundabout. But then it was poised on the right was Alpecin de Koning. There was Gianni Vermeers, Mathieu van der Poel, full lead-out mode. And then Arnaud De Lee coming up right in the middle on his wheel. Dylan Groenewegen. De Lee just hesitates. Too far to go just yet. Waited. Groenewegen slingshot out of the slipstream right through the middle of the road. Philipsen eventually gets going and challenges, and neither of them knew who had won. I mean, no one was confident to put their hands up until they'd heard. But Groenewegen, when he can get some clear air and just wind up his sprint, he is right there with anybody else you want to say is the fastest in the world. And it's no coincidence that he's got a sixth Tour de France stage win.
3 different stage winners in our 3 sprints so far, Danny. That's brilliant, isn't it? We so often see Tour de France sprints dominated by one rider who gets on a roll, and this time it's everyone's for the taking.
I mean, it's the narrative of this whole Tour de France, isn't it? It's been absolutely spectacular from start to finish. There's been drama every day, unpredictability, and different winners. It's fantastic.
Adam, we want to have a little look at the finale here because we've had a little bit of a disagreement between you two as to whether or not Jasper Philipsen was in the right in his approach when he came into the line. Let's talk us through this, Adam.
So he's on the right-hand side here. This was the case go. Wout van Aert is just squeezing through there on the right, and he eventually gets up to Philipsen's wheel, who I believe he is on now. I'm just trying to work out. No, Wout van Aert's a bit further back. Yeah, Wout's in front. So at this point here, Wout's in front of Van der Poel. You can just see on this shot, there's Wout, there's Van der Poel, and there's Philipsen on his wheel. So at this point, nothing going wrong ultimately. He's in the good position. Wout's put himself in a good position. Here is when Van der Poel starts to go past, and you just watch Wout move into the wheel of Philipsen. 4 riders back. Gets onto the wheel. Obviously, De Lee sort of lets him out of the way, realises there's no room to go that way, so I'm not going to keep trying. A little up shoulder barge by Arnaud De Lee, but nothing to worry about, really, for Wout van Aert, as he's built like a house. But at this point here, Van der Poel starts his acceleration, tries to wind it up for Philipsen. In the meantime, if you look where Groenewegen is, right in the middle of that patch still, hugging the wheel of De Lee. And at this point here, this is where Philipsen starts to go. Wout van Aert initially gets that extra kick on him, so starts before Philipsen does. He is alongside his hip. At that point, then, this is where...
Sprint has started clearly, 200 metres to go.
So this is where Philipsen starts, and Philipsen starts right next to him, right on the shoulder. Arguably, Philipsen is faster than him, but Wout has still got room here, plenty of room. At this point here, that little drop of the left shoulder, he starts to move in on him there. So he had enough room, and then he didn't have enough room. The only argument is he was going faster. Robbie, the barriers didn't move in.
I'm saying we're talking millimetres. This is sprinting. The barriers come in narrowed a few centimetres.
But he started next to him. He started next to him.
I wondered if we could see the overhead shot because it's much more difficult to see head on. When it's overhead, it looks much more obvious. We might be able to bring you that shot in just a moment. But first, I think it's really worth dwelling on this celebration for Dylan Groenewegen, a rider who's been through so much in his career. Newly crowned Dutch national champion, beating this man, arguably the favourite for every sprint so far, Jasper Philipsen. He's going to be
Mr. Second Place.
Mr. Second Place this year. He's going to be incredibly disappointed with that. As you can see, Alpecin have gotten used to winning at this race. Robbie, this is going to hurt.
It's going to hurt, but it shows you the level of all the other riders in this race. Maybe Philipsen isn't quite as sharp as he was 12 months ago. Maybe Mathieu van der Poel on the lead-out isn't quite as strong and efficient as he was last year. But it also depends on the riders around you and how they're going and what sort of run they get. And today, it was the day for Dylan Groenewegen to get the run in the wheel of Arnaud De Lee when there was that slight hesitation of De Lee Groenewegen was already 5 pedal strokes into his sprint, and just that slingshot effect, the old DRS out of the wheel and over the top.
I think everyone's just got better.
Yeah,
everyone's just got better.
Everyone's the general level.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we were speaking about this earlier, weren't we, with time trialists, with Garner, and everyone just slowly creeping up. And I think it's the same with sprinters. You know, we've had the cabs early on, and that's what makes cabs so interesting now. But I think this is kind of nice. Although my eardrums are popped.
I love the teamwork of Jaco Alula today, where yesterday they didn't get it right. They were sort of just caught in that mash-up in the middle and were never near it. Today, you saw Luke Durbridge at one point, left side of the road, 5k to go. He just blasted up along the left in the wind, brought them all the way back to the right of the road, get some protection behind the others from the crosswind, and then they stayed there, maintained position, which they were unable to do yesterday. And as I said before, you've just got to get Dylan Groenewegen some clear space, and okay, you've got to have a little bit of run of luck that you don't get boxed, but he did it just right today, followed the right wheels, and just another stage winner. I love watching these sprints.
Yeah,